This is just a sample company called IAPDA. This is all test data, obviously, as you can see. The idea here is that each one of these blocks is what's called a data view. And a data view is very versatile. It can be set up however you want to have any number of what are called fields that represent the data. Each row is also called a record, and the row could be a property. And the property has certain elements: email address, address of the owner, etc. And you can either get data associated with a property, or edit the data, or add new data. So all data views have child linking capability with different flavors of links available as a setting. As you can see, if we focus on one record, any corresponding data views get their records automatically highlighted. The user at the municipality, without us being there, can edit the characteristics of an object very quickly, including the display name of the object and the fields. They can even do something like this. You see how it says make data model from Excel file? So what I'm going to do is bring in, for the first time in history, all the data from El Salvador, called Formulario 000926. And it's an Excel document. But look at this. We just modified the data view to actually be this data, all of this Spanish data that represents a property. Now, I'm going to go one step better in a moment. By the way, this mode string represents what people can do with the data, how it gets displayed. What happens when you send a record containing this data? Does it send the field or not? Why would you want to? Is it required to be sent, etc., etc.? So all of the minuscule, all the minutia that's involved with a workflow is considered here. What are the basic operations on searching on a particular field? Equals, in like. Anyway, let me close this, not to overwhelm people. But had I saved that, then all of this data would be changed to represent the property data of a municipality. That's how versatile this system is. This just shows the search results. The last thing we searched on all records, about 75 of them, but there could be 1 million of them. As many as 1 million records in a given data view. These are the operands. We might want to see every prospect with a last name equaling that, and focus just on that record, so it's just one record. Metadata is the term used to describe all data that an NFT specifically points to. So we can say, yes, we can say all data, because metadata is data. The reason it's called metadata is because the data itself is not stored on blockchain, so we call it metadata. Anyway, so this guy, Arturo, when we highlight him, has a bunch of trade lines. These are active accounts. And I just want to show you something. I'm going to go into the new client screen, and these are all highlighted based on this guy. And what we're going to do is we're going to click fill agreement on a banking agreement. This happens to be a banking agreement for Reliant, which is one of the larger escrow banks. And this ACH agreement we can populate. You see these fields here? They all point to certain exact data in different data views. So if we click autofill, the data is filled from this record because that's the highlighted record. And I want to point out that any feature I'm showing you now will be available to all our customers, just as an FYI, because
Delnorte.
To all of Delnorte's customers, right? All of our governments, right? So we autofilled this data. We could save it as a PDF, but before we do, let's just assume that I'm not the employee. Rather, I saved a pre-filled form and I sent it. I Gmailed it to the customer by clicking Gmail and
The customer is a property owner.
It could be a property owner, and we're going to actually email a pre-filled PDF to the property owner. So it says, welcome to the municipality of El Salvador. Please download the attached PDF and then use it and fill it. And then it gives them a link to fill it, just like DocuSign does. And that link, when they click it, brings up the PDF partially filled where they can change data and they can sign. So Arturo, signs here. Let me clear that. Do an actual signature that might be legible, but and then as soon as I'm off of it, it dates it. It provides a hash code of the dated signature, and there's actually a provenance page that appears at the bottom for verifiability, right? So this is just an extra feature that took a long time to be better than DocuSign. Anyway, so we would save it and then send it to the customer. They would send it back. And when they send it back and we upload it, if we click extract data on that signed document, if there's any changes at all, they'll appear in yellow here so that the municipality can upload those changes. Just showing you how mature the system is. Where is this data being stored? Wherever you want it to be stored. It's being stored currently in Google Cloud. Could be stored
so this
in
will
Salesforce.
be localized into Spanish and Portuguese eventually.
Yes, it could. Yes, in fact, if you remember when I went in here to change this data view to be something completely different with a different name, like called properties, which I don't want to modify this just yet. I could save it locally just to show you, but I don't want to take that chance. And change a given demo company. So what I'm going to do is going to log out of here and log back into El Salvador company in a moment. But anyway, if you recall, we did this, make data from Excel file, and this was the actual Excel file representing the data from El Salvador and the structure they want for their municipalities. And this shows it right here. If I save this, if I just click, save this match or save it locally, it would save this in such a way that as soon as I close this, all of this data is now appears in Spanish, and this name now says properties. So now, lo and behold, it's a properties object. Now, again, this is that part. Just doing it like that was just added today. So we're going to actually test it for the first time, and we just did test it for the first time in front of you, and it worked. But now we'll go one step further and actually change the object. So let's do that by logging out and logging in as the property, as the El Salvador government. I don't know if there's anything else I should show you here except perhaps this. Let me just show you this. Let's say they want to do some charting. You can see this. You see that? And all of these things are settings. You can change things around very quickly and change what you're charting, distributions, everything. It's much more advanced than any government has access to now, surely. I mean, they don't do this stuff. If they do, they hire third-party companies to do it for them and pay millions of dollars for it. They have separate analytics companies, but now everything's in one place. They don't like the way this appears. They want to add another column. They just, add the column. So now last name appears too. You want to sort by a particular object, you sort. Ascending, descending, right? So it's very versatile. And you want to change what's available to you as even a property or an object, you just add it here. You just, now we've got something that we had forgotten field. We just add it here, forgotten field, and the characteristics of that field, how you want to edit, add mode, display, how you want to send that data, and that's it. We're not going to save that change. Okay.
It's a very impressive demo. I think this is brilliant. It's amazing.
Let me just add a couple more things. There's a call feature where we're adding AI agents to the call. I mean, just ridiculous amount of stuff. The AI, it's already added, but you can't hear it. But if I click this button right now, that's my phone number. It's actually going to call. Oh, well, okay, so a change I made, so it's not going to call. But typically, you just click this, it opens up this call thing, and it calls. But because this is an active development feature, because we just added AI agents.
It's full CRM integrated with the DocuSign type features and interaction with
links
the government.
And fields. Yeah, and
localized into Spanish and Portuguese. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can set encrypt tokens representing various for everything. There's all sorts of sub elements to this.
So the API key can be linked to an NFT, for example.
Yeah, so let's get into that now. The title company is really just a data point. It's just another data point that could appear here. So instead of last name, we would just add a field here called, we would just add a field down here called is titled, for example, or title detail, and it could just be an object, and that could just be one field that contains an entire object representing the owner of the title company. Has it passed title, the confidence level, the details of the trail of who owned it before, et cetera, et cetera. The provenance of it could just be a data point.
So the title company or anyone could create a decentralized app.
That's right. That fits much better into our business model because Anton's already envisioned a DApp platform and app platform.
Right. Actually, real quick. So as it stands in Latin America right now, which was our original target market, I mean, obviously we're expanding into the United States now, but title companies, they cover less than like 5% of the properties in general in any of the given countries. Ken himself is a landlord, a significant one in Costa Rica, and he can tell you that he's had issues with not having title insurance because it's not a thing there.
Yeah.
So we're not really going up the stream against title companies in Latin America. They don't exist.
Yeah.
There's only a few huge properties that have title insurance.
This is MuniProp El Salvador in its beginnings, right? And as you can see, it contains nothing. It contains a tab called Properties. Just the most flexible system is the system that starts with nothing, right? So here you are. You've got a system with nothing. And if the very first thing you want to do is add an object, and you want that object to be the actual data from the municipality, we click Make Data Model from Excel File, and we click this one, and for the very first time in history, we have the El Salvador property data view. Now,
I post in the channel, in our TV news channel, quite often, any and all updates. So, like I said, we're good enough to go live now. I did want to, because we only get one chance at this, I am stacking the deck in our favor as much as I can. We are negotiating with politicians, with celebrities, with our KOL, which is our key person of influence. It's a crypto term for crypto influencers. We're going on these launch pads. We were waiting for this demo that should be live today, tomorrow, this week. And I don't see any reason that we would not be raising at least in the tens of millions, just because the market is, the market died for meme coins, but I can see, because you can see this on chain and you can kind of see, I talk to people in the government, the C community and whatnot. Everybody is repositioning to go after the real serious projects that have real world utility. That's where the big money is going to flow. So us being really, if not the only project that has government contracts and is actually doing this type of stuff and already has things to show, not just has an idea and, we're going to do this and that. Like, no, we did this. Like, we are now expanding.
So you're differentiated from prop tech as a gov tech, but there is an overlap. You also do prop tech.
Of course. But we're not a prop. We're not going to tokenize your house. We're going to tokenize your town or your city or your country, and then you'll call the local government or go online, and then you'll tokenize your house yourself. All the big projects today, all the successful ones certainly, they're going through launch pads. Why are they going through the launch pads?
Is somebody like David Sachs aligned with you, since he's the crypto and AI czar now? Are you?
Yes. So I got direct access to a lot of the people in the Trump administration. Mm-hmm. Again, I was literally at the inauguration.
Yeah.
Not at the actual inauguration. I was like at the
Eric Trump is probably above David, but they all work together.
Yes, yeah. I have. I'm one phone call away
to ask a 30-second question and get a 30-second answer.
Well, this is about the title that you're putting for the NFT. Does the owner, as we perceive it, the buyer of the property, own title to the company, or is it now going to be under the government, the true title, or under the bank?
No, it's the laws of how you own your house do not change. I'm not the court. I am just providing them, the government, a way to make everything digital.
Yeah.
And that's the easiest way to explain it. Like you still own your house.
Will you run property tax evaluations from this database? Is that one of the forward things?
You'll be paying your taxes on our platform.
Yeah. Okay.
And every time you pay, you'll also be paying a little convenience fee. Or you're still welcome to go wait in line at the county clerk and pay taxes that way.
And so the model for this is you build it up. You're going to transfer all titles in agreed zones by the government. So is that what I'm understanding, or it's going to be as and when somebody new comes along and wants to transfer title? How are you? I'm trying to understand the ramp model.
First, let's get everyone on the same page. All we're doing is digitizing documents for 3 purposes. 1, decentralization. 2, accountability. And 3, provability. Now, the first 2 are obvious. Provability means this. It means that when an owner signs a message associated with an action, like paying his taxes, the municipality is sure that the person associated with the action is the actual owner of the property. And with that knowledge comes a lot of abilities that the municipality doesn't currently have and that the owner doesn't currently have, such as transferring the property. So the owner can transfer property without an attorney present, but it's always up to the government. It's always up to the government to determine whether they're going to allow that. We just make it possible. So once a transfer takes place on our end, it means somebody else controls the NFT, which represents the property, and the municipality is made aware of it through our software. Does that mean no attorney is required, or that the actual workflow or business models of the country changes? That's up to the country. We just provide them the vehicle. I want to talk a little bit about accountability. This really just means that transactions, actions, either on the part of the municipality or the owner, are verifiable by a third party. Actions such as paying taxes and the amount paid. The only elements that remain private, or up to the government to determine whether they will allow viewing by the public of, are actual documents themselves, represented by identifiers, which is public information. Now, the important concept here is that those identifiers are associated with titles. When I say titles, not property titles, but characters, like a couple of words. And those words might be 2025 taxes paid, and is a corresponding document that's associated with that. So the owner has access to those documents, and whoever else the government wants to allow access to. But the point is that if the owner shows that document in a court of law outside of the country of origin, and also shows the identifier associated with that document, then it's proven just with that association that the document is a real document and has merit as being associated with an action that actually happened. And this is even without the municipality releasing any of their records. This is very important. This automatically provides stability to a country.
Here's the property object. There you go. It's a good way to leave us.
Oh, it works.
Well,
very awesome.
Pinch for a bigger view. Thank you very much, Ken.
Okay.
Brilliant.
It takes like 40 seconds.
Anna, we'll set up a separate date.
40,000 properties.
Wow.
Right.
That's awesome. 40,000 properties. That's great.
With
That's
85,
amazing.
with
This
85
is real
fields
data.
each, starting with the name of the property
85
owner.
fields times 40,000 properties is a lot of data. Congratulations.